I want to briefly let my viewers know how I post videos on YouTube because not everyone that watches my videos are YouTube content creators. Now, some of you might want to start a channel. Now, I make videos in two different ways. This one I'm making on my phone. Most of them I make on my phone. Those, in my file manager, I've got the option of sharing a video, and then I've got the option of sharing it on YouTube, and then I go through the procedure through YouTube. Just ask if this is intended, if this is public or private, if this is for kids or not. And I always make my videos public, and most of them I try to make them kid friendly, but they're not really directed toward kids. So I put no, they're not for kids. But I try to make my content just assuming that the kids might be watching it. I don't use any foul language, anything with sexual connotation. I try to euphemize, or there's a phrase for it, to kind of hide it in kid friendly ways. Now the stuff I shoot on my camera, I'll use high-speed Wi-Fi. I'll pull the little SD card out. Any video I'll review it before I post it, just to make sure it looks halfway decent. Anyway, but the stuff I make on my camera, I'll pull the SD card out and load it in my laptop. Now I think you can actually plug in that little micro the C connector on the back of the charge port. I think you can actually plug it into the laptop, but I'm running Linux Mint, and I've had trouble, when I've tried to access other devices from Linux Mint, it just won't. The phone is it phone software incompatibility with Linux? So some way, I don't know. It just doesn't work. So it's easy just to pull the SD card out, review it, and then there's an upload procedure off of from YouTube. They'll ask you. There's a little button you hit to create, and then you drag and drop the file. Then it just asks you. It'll go through and see if there's any copywritten stuff on there. Then you post it for public, and it's not for kids again. Now, a couple of things I wanted to comment on Wonder Hussey's video that I forgot when she picked up that syringe. Chick, I would never have picked up that syringe. I might have picked up a pair of pliers and then cut it in half and then put it in a trash can or something. But no way I would have picked up my fingers. You don't know what what might actually be on the outside of that syringe. You don't know what somebody might have actually contamination on the outside of that syringe. Now, I remember, in an auto wrecking yard many years ago, there was a whole bunch of syringes in the back of a vehicle, and I alerted the staff there. I said, this is in the back of, I think it was back of a full-size van. I just told them, but it's probably from a diabetic, but who knows? They appeared to be, unused syringes, but some drug dealer could have got a hold of them and sold them or something. Just my thoughts. Let's see. I was going to comment from one more. For Wonder Hussey again. Now that Porsche that he was driving that wrecked, someone has got that on display somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it was at. I think it was somewhere in California. Someone had bought it or got a hold of it or something and had it had a display. It was pretty well wrecked. It may not be anymore, but I remember. I said there was at least one YouTube video. On that spider. Now, I'm going to try to do some meditation. I'm going to do deep breathing. I'm going to do visualization, see if I can have an out-of-body experience. I might go the Eckankar way and use it, because I've used the Hue. That's a mantra that Eckankar uses. You search the Eckankar, ECKENC, something like that here on YouTube. This stuff will come up. How to do the Hue to get all state of consciousness, and how to have astral projection, or they call it out of body travel, or spirit travel, or soul travel. I think is the way that the Eckankar phrases it. It's all the same thing. You go into the same place. Okay, bye. Love y'all. Love this crazy world.